Hello everyone, it's Teresa from Teresa's Silhouette Spot for all things art. How is everybody today? Happy Saturday. It is gray here. I was gray this morning on the inside, but I'm cheering up now and I'm here to paint. How's everybody doing? How's everything going today? I can't believe it's almost 2 o'clock. Time has flown by today and I was up rather early. But I did have some personal things to take care of today. So now here I am to paint. So I told you guys the other night I got more cutouts for the interchangeable vertical home sign. And the other night I did mittens and the awareness ribbon. If you want to see how I did those, especially this one. I mean, this one's kind of simple. If you want to see how I did the mittens, it was my live from Thursday night. What was that, January 30th? Yes. So after I got off on live, I started cupcakes. And you see that white spot? So on this one, I put a piece of tape. And now I peeled it off on this one. I'm going to use the cupcake. I'm going to paint these little rectangles with chalkboard paint. So you can write the person's name. Mom, Dad, Michael, Sydney, Samantha, Teresa, whatever you want. Whatever birthday it is that month, if you're going to use this on your interchangeable cutout home sign, you can put the birthday person's name right there on the cupcake. So I have it here. I'm just peeling off this last one to get started to paint. And that's it. I just use my little pick and voila. So, and it doesn't matter, like this one and I bled a little bit. It doesn't matter because I'm painting over with black chalkboard paint. And then I start on my apples. Yeah, they don't look good right now, but trust the process. I'm going to finish my apples today, now actually, and you will see how it all comes together. So anyway, I'm going to face you down a little bit and get painting. We can chitter chatter. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my phone on. Here's my apples and my cupcakes. I'm going to put my phone on to look for comments. I'm not going to keep up with them, but I will try. You know me, talking, painting, reading. It doesn't always work. And so I'm finishing the cupcakes and the apples, and I'm going to paint these cute flip-flops. Now, it's not summer here. I guess it's summer somewhere. It's also 5 o'clock somewhere. But that's a whole nother thing. So, but, you know, who doesn't love the sunshine and warm weather? I do. So, I'm going to do my chalkboard paint because it's probably going to need more than one coat. And then I'm going to go in, you're going to see how I'm going to finish these tops of the cupcakes with sprinkles. I took 2 iced coffees today. 2 iced coffees is not conducive to painting straight lines. So what's everybody else doing today? How's everybody's Saturday? Who's doing laundry? Who's cleaning house? As a matter of fact, I have laundry in the washing machine. I have to switch. Who needs to go food shopping? I might only need 1 coat. We shall see. See how it dries. These craft wood cutouts suck up a lot of paint. So we'll see. I did the red down here because I guess when it's a birthday, you know, I like pink or whatever, but I wanted to keep it neutral. So if you have a little girl or a little boy celebrating a birthday, or a big girl or a big boy, mom or dad or whatever, you don't want a cupcake with pink frosting on the top. I know we're getting away from traditional boy-girl roles, but I still can't help but feel like pink screams girl. So, and that's it. I don't know if you know this, but once you have the chalkboard paint, Once it's dry, of course, just dry for a couple of days, then you'll have to, in order to start using it, which I may send them out that way, I don't know, you have to like prime it by taking a piece of chalk and rubbing over it and then erasing it. And then it's ready to go to take chalk like a chalkboard. So we went to breakfast this morning with my nephew and his kids and my brother-in-law. Today is my sister's birthday. We lost her in 2016. She would be, let me see, 68. She would be 68 today. So you've seen me talk about CJD disease, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease here on my Facebook Lives. It's a very, very horrible, fatal disease. But anyway, yes, so today we got together for breakfast and then went to the cemetery just to, you know, say hey, whatever. I know a lot of people don't go to the cemetery or whatever. You know what? Everybody grieves in different ways. Everybody celebrates or remembers their loved one in different ways, and there's no right way or wrong way. It's all good. So anyway, I'm moving on to the apples. I'm going to show you a little trick here. One of my little one-stroke tricks for doing the, you know how apples and pears have a little divot up here? I'm going to show you how we accomplish that. I think I might have to darken up my paint a little bit. Yeah, I think so. When you darken up your paint, you only need the slightest hint of black. A little bit of black goes a very long way. Then we use what's called, look at it's a mess. This is floating medium. This is the part that is in the paint. This is what makes paint. So this is the base of the paint before they add the pigment to it to make it a color. So I'm going to load my brush with the floating medium and then pick up a tiny bit just on the corner. See that? Just on the corner of the brush. I'm going to go back in. And I'm making like a little, make a little bit more paint. A little swoosh here. And you're going to see, once it dries, I have to do more shading. But you're going to get that little divot there. It's hard to see. And I'm going to bring the stem all the way down into there when I paint my stem. But I wanted to have this in place first, so I know where to bring my stem to. And then I'm going to go back and finish my shading. Okay. When I did these the other night, I was just trying to use up my paint, and my line was a little harsh, but now I want to blend it a little more. So I have my dark red and my, this is Cardinal Red, Folk Art Multi-Surface Cardinal Red, and I added a little black to it. And now I'm just double loading my brush to get the blending in, because I want the brightness here, but then I want a little bit of shading over here. And I don't want a harsh line. I'm working on my blending, you guys. If you've seen some old work of mine, it takes a little bit of practice. I'm just double loading my brush with the plain red and then the red that I added a little black to. I could have used a different red or a berry wine to do my shading, but I chose to add a little black to it. And when I'm doing stuff like these, it's a lot quicker to work on more than one at once. I have all the paints out, so I might as well just do multiples. Then I'll show you, we're going to add a little highlight, and you'll be surprised what I'm going to highlight these pumpkins. You'll see why I said pumpkin. You'll be surprised what I'm going to highlight these apples with, because it's not going to be white. Okay. Imagine I'm going to highlight them with this. This is moon yellow. It's like an orangey yellow. That's what I'm going to use. Hi, Janet. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in such a long time. I think I'm going to paint with Carol in February. She has that, I think it was a barn. I have to look at my schedule, because if I can work it out, I would love to paint that. So I'm going to get myself a little bit more red. And like I said, I'm working on my shading. Don't mind the noise. Sorry. There we go. So I'm going to load with red and this yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of highlight. I don't know if you can see, to this side of the apple. And you always want to stay with the shape that you're painting. I don't know if you can see it, and maybe you'll see it a little bit more when it's drier, but I just put a little bit of highlight onto, let's see which one, this one, onto this side. Once again, I double loaded with the moon yellow and the cardinal red, and I'm adding a little bit of the highlight to this side of the apple. Before I started painting, if you asked me what color an apple is, I would say red. But clearly they're not completely red. They get a lot of colors and a lot of variations going on in there. And that's something I would have never noticed if it wasn't for the awesome women that I've learned to paint from. The most amazing one, of course, is Donna Dewberry. the creator of the one-stroke painting technique, where you double load your brush and shade, blend, and highlight all in one stroke. So I don't want to mess up my divot. Okay, there I go. Now I'm going to add my stem, and like I said, I'm going to go, my stem is going to go all the way down to where I put the little like dimple kind of that you have in the apple. And I'm going to use mostly brown, but pick up a little bit of white. And once again, when I'm doing it, I'm doing all three. It's not going to be interesting for you to watch, but oops, don't need my pick anymore. Okay, got my stems in. I'm going to add my leaves. Like I told you, these craft wood really sucks up paint. I'm going to get the edges in there a little bit. I'll let that dry a little bit, and I'm going to go back in and once again add some highlights to the whole thing. And a stem. I have a little stem in my apple. I mean a stem in my apple leaf. There you go. Dark. Okay. I missed a little bit of the stem here. And this one has a little too much white, so I'm going to darken it up a little bit with my brown. Okay. And there you have it. Okay. Go in and add a stem. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a stem in my leaf. And then on the side that we highlighted, a little brightness. Put that over there. That one's done. Choo. 3. Voila. Okay. Now I'm going to do my, I'm going to add sprinkles and stuff to here, but I'm going to keep letting these, they're almost dry, but I can do that. I'll do that towards the end. Right now I want to get to my flip-flops. I'm getting a new dish because these are going to be completely different colors. I'm using magenta, Juneberry, which is one of my favorite new folk art colors, and aqua. Those seem like pretty good summer shine flip-flop colors, don't they? Now, I don't know if I'm going to try and avoid painting the straps and going around. We'll see. This way, I'm going to just go in and paint the straps in that little, I penciled them in. Sometimes I would just paint the whole thing and go over it. It's just easier than worrying about lines and whatnot, but it's fine. It's fine. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Get around the edges. Okay. Maybe I will just paint this one so you can see where I'm going with it. Yeah, you know what? I have to wait for it to dry anyway before I can add other things, so. Sorry, no, that was a tease. I'm going to paint more than one. Hi, Pat. How are you? It's nice to see you. I miss my painting family. Nice guy. This too is actually one of my favorite colors. This is a fairly new color. It's not brand new, but it hasn't been around as long as I've been painting with folk art paint. But I love this color magenta. It's so pretty and fresh. So did you guys see my live the other night where I used my overhead camera? Well, that was actually my phone. But I did order a camera, a webcam. And I will be getting that all set up. It was my goal to have that all ready to go the way I want it by the end of February, because March 1st starts Craft Club in my group. You seen the group on the Facebook page, Teresa's Treasure Chest? Each month I'm going to post a craft with a supply list and announce the day I'll be doing the craft live. And then if you want, you can get the supplies and do it with me, or just watch, or go back and do it at another time. Whatever you want to do. That's going to be in the group, Teresa's Treasure Chest. So if you haven't joined the group, go ahead, but I'll remind you again before we get started. And I'm going to reserve this page, my live painting. I'm still going to obviously continue to paint live on here. That's why I'm working so hard to be able to get a better angle for you guys overhead and whatnot, so I can really start teaching technique instead of just demonstrating. But if you want to be crafty with me, join the group, Teresa's Treasure Chest, and we'll be doing crafts on there every month. I'll even take requests. If there's something you guys want to work on, we'll have a virtual suggestion box. And we can put it out there and work on it together. Of course, they won't be anything complicated. We're not going to be on here live for hours and hours. I'm going to try and keep it to around 30 to 45 minutes. We'll see. We may get to chatting and be on here for an hour, but we'll see. Those were my 2 goals for the beginning of 2020. And I told you my word of the year. You saw me make that last week. Again, with the pointing, I got to get this straight. Gather. My word of the year. I took one of those online little quizzes, and my word of the year was gather. And I said, you know what? That's perfect, because I'm trying to gather people around to share my art from my heart. Painting has done so much for me, and I enjoy learning. I enjoy painting, and I want to share that feeling with others, with you guys. And you know what? No, you don't have to be able to draw a stick figure to paint. Painting and art and crafts is a very individual thing, and what someone might find stunning and the most beautiful thing they ever saw, somebody else might not like very much. That is the beauty of art. You can't be wrong. It's different. It's different for everyone. Oops. You know, I try not to get painty, but it's futile. I get paint everywhere. I wonder if these need 2 coats. Maybe just a quickie. And one of the other things I love about these multi-surface paints, these folk art multi-surface paints, they have sealer in them. So at the end of your project, honestly, if I'm going to have my project outside, I will still put a seal coat on it. But if not, you don't need to add a sealer after you paint with these folk art multi-surface paints. You can tell when they're multi-surface, they have this little, I guess, key on the top. Wood, glass, metal. Some plastic. And I think it depends on how you're going to use the plastic and what the plastic is made out of. All plastic is different. Even recycled plastic, it's all different. Sometimes when you paint on plastic, it doesn't have that grab. But yes, I have used multi-surface paints on plastic. Actually, These plates are plastic. And I can't get the paint completely off. Okay. Now we're gonna go back and add my favorite color, this new Juneberry. Hi Linda, how you doing today? How's the weather down there? It's probably a lot like here. I might use a smaller brush. Now the straps are definitely going to need 2 coats. I was saying the other night too, when I did the ribbons, the purples, the perfect purple and this Juneberry are a little translucent. So they almost always need 2 coats. Tell me what you think of this color combination. Once I add the highlights, you're really going to see it pop then. Oops, sorry. Let me go back and add the second coat. There we go. Here's my aqua. So I'll get to this one. I just wanted to show you guys this. Finish it up and show you what the completed project looks like, what I had in mind. I'm using this pouncer now to make some polka dots. Pick up a little white. There goes my home phone. Somebody wants me to extend my car's warranty, or get solar panels on my roof, or let me know that I'm going to be arrested by the IRS. Who still has a home phone and gets those crazy calls? I should probably disconnect it. Of course, it never rings unless I'm doing a live. Okay, let's hold on to this for a little bit because clearly I'm not done. We'll get back to that. I need my liner brush. That's green. That's not going to work. Is it green? No, it was black. I was right. And a little more white. I'm going to do my highlights on this. Okay. And there's our little flip-flops. What do you guys think? So, we have our flip-flops, or apples, our awareness ribbons, our mittens, and I'm going to add some sprinkles to the cupcake and show you what that looks like. And we have our name, little place chalkboard paint for names. Thanks. I will, still have a couple more to do. I still have a flag and a turkey and a sunflower. So stay tuned, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thanks for joining.